Okay, hello guys, and well, another hobby update, and I really should have cleaned up a little bit here because I'm painting and doing a little bit of stuff. I noticed, oh, it was a week ago since I did a hobby update, and I'm like, you know what? I want to at least get a hobby update out every week, one a week at least. So why not do it on, well, oh God, what day is it? Is it Thursdays? Yeah, so Thursdays is going to be my hobby update day, probably. So, well, some things I've been doing, as you can probably tell, I've done this guy's beard, and I thought it turned out pretty well. I've started with his skin, but he looks a little bit. I think the beard and the skin tone maybe it clashes in a sense. I don't know, but I'm gonna wait and see after I paint the accessories on him or whatever, and then I'm gonna say, okay, how does it look now? Because I kind of like as I was painting these guys, I was kind of like, I don't want them all to have the same color on their face. These two guys are going to have the same color because they seem to be like the most experienced or whatever. I feel like these two are like the more novices, while these are the more experienced guys. So I'm gonna let them have orange beards. This guy is gonna have a blonde, and that guy is probably gonna have brown something. I mean, dirty blonde and brown. And then what I've done actually is that I've kind of customized their bases, or I've been using this right here, the skulls, Citadel skulls on the base, and I put an orc head on this guy. Cause kind of like, you know what? Let's give their bases something, a little bit to stand out. Because that is one thing that I plan on doing this year. I'm going to be putting a little bit to make them a little bit special. All the Warhammer Underworlds. So they're gonna be a little bit special. So yeah, so that's pretty much what I've done. Yeah, I've also started on the skin on most of them. This guy, you just have two skulls right there. And then this guy, I actually put down a little bit of extra slate on its base that I'm going to be painting the same colors as these stones. Because I was kind of, it's a bit too much dirt on his. And I put a skull in that eye slot right there. Maybe I regret it a little bit now, but I don't like how that hole looks normally. That eye hole, I think it doesn't look good. At least not with the brown that I'm doing the ground on. So it's kind of like, let's just put a skull in there. And right there, let's put a gemstone. So there we go. So this skull right here was probably pillaged long ago and was replaced with a skull. And also, as you could probably tell by his weapon right there, I put two gemstones instead of that symbol that was there before. I decided, let's put some gemstones instead. So I just carefully cut with the pliers because I don't want to damage the paint job. I'm still going to have to fix up a little bit, but overall I'm pretty okay with that because I mean it already looks pretty funky how his weapon is. So I don't know how I'm gonna justify. I don't know what it's made of, but hey, it's being powered a little bit by the crystals, maybe. So that is the things that I can remember I mean, those are the things I've done. Because, I mean, when I paint, I can't paint for long periods of time at a time. I tend to try and paint at least 15 minutes to do a little bit of hobby stuff, at least 15 to 20 minutes a day, maybe. Or at least when I do paint, the days I do. I try and get at least that much. But one thing that I actually have been watching that I also want to talk about is, oh god, I think this is called Nexo Knights, which is basically it's Lego. Oh yeah, I'm planning on editing this my weight update video, so that is also being I'm planning on doing that. But yeah, so far I think I'm at I'm at the Black Knight season 1 episode 8, and so far it's pretty good. It's okay. I think it starts off just, it's kind of like, it's semi-weak. But my two favorite episodes are Fright Night and actually the episode I just watched, which is called The Maze of Amazement. And it's very weird because it's like the two characters of the main characters. I was like, oh, these guys are pretty weak. It's kind of like they're pretty terrible characters. But they got the best episode. And then I started appreciating their character. Well, they did not have characters before these two episodes. If I take Axel, for example, his whole character has just been food. That's it. He's just a big guy. You're like, oh, food. Kind of like, oh god. One note characters, I hate that. But in this episode, when he visits his family, they gave him something else other than just food. And this guy as well was quite interesting. Like, oh god, he saved the day with him being kind of like fearless in a sense. It was a funny episode. This guy, he's like goes completely naked like half the episode. Because like, oh, I'm not afraid of being naked. So, and he's actually naked. So that was pretty funny. Like he goes commando. And he kind of like flirts and embarrasses a Naga. So, which is like, or a Medusa. Well, it's a Naga with two whips. It's pretty funny. So, I mean, I would recommend these two episodes, The Fright Night and The Maze of Amazement. And it's only 10 episodes per season, so hey. And also pretty funny, so I think it's an okay show. I don't know if I would recommend watching it, unless you're like, you know what, I just want to watch something a little bit light-hearted. Then I would be like, yeah, give it a shot. Watch one or two episodes a day, because I think I've watched this now, which is pretty good. I mean, like in I think 10 days I've watched, and I'm gonna watch Black Knight. I would have watched 8 episodes in 10 days. That's a lot for me. If anyone knows about how I watch things, I tend to, and mostly I'm not a binge watcher, because I can't do that. I cannot binge watch a show. For me, it's kind of like a couple episodes a week is like my deal when I watch shows. Anyways, this was a hobby update, not a what was this called? Lego Nexo Night or whatever. But it's a fun show.